Hello again, it's me John with a new devlog about my cozy online pixel art RPG. A lot has changed since the last update, and contrary to what some people assumed, I've actually not vanished from the face of the earth. Sorry for not getting out a new devlog earlier, but I was busy with some fundamental changes to the game that I will talk about today. Also, since my first devlog back in May, I got a whopping 269 subscribers at the time of making this video.
Nice.
Thank you so much everyone for the interest, support and so many awesome comments. I'm reading every comment and respond if you have a question or suggestion, so definitely keep them coming. But now let's dive into what has been happening to my game. In my last video I was talking about creating an open world, so that's out the window. My original plan after the last video was to start building the open world and filling it with content. When I looked at the art I had made so far, I knew there were a few things I could improve before making a lot of content with it. So this started a bit of an environment art overhaul that hopefully still captures the same charm the first version had, but in my opinion feels a lot more polished and smooth. I made all tile sets have diagonal shapes in them, so they look a lot more smooth when placing them diagonally to each other. Also, creating round shapes more commonly used for environments looks better. You can see that when compared to the old one, it's a lot more smooth and does not have the zigzag border. Also, the old cliff tile set got replaced, featuring higher cliffs that give the environment more verticality. The old cliffs also felt kinda weird with their brown color.
That is one big pile of shit.
I feel this cleans up the whole look and allows the eyes to have some easy resting spots where the actual important objects, players and monsters are that stand out better in front of the tile set. So yeah, and then I decided to not have an open world anymore. There are a couple of reasons why I started to feel opposed to the open world. But what was more important was what a streamlined world would allow me to do from a game design perspective. The original gameplay I had in mind for this game, where you venture out into the world, fight monsters, collect loot, level up and go back to the town to restock for the next adventures, that's still in place. But now when you venture out into the world, you decide which biome of the world you want to go to, let's say the islands. You then take a boat to that area and will always start in the first level of that area. And to get to the next levels, you have to fight your way from level to level. In each level the monsters get stronger, but you can also find loot that the lower levels don't have. If compared to a traditional open world game, the monsters close to the town are weaker than the monsters far away from it. And you have to walk from the town through all the other areas until you arrive in the area you are interested in. So far this sounds quite similar, so why not have an open world? The cool thing about splitting the world into different levels is that each level can be randomly generated because they don't have to logically fit together with all the other levels of that area. In an open world game, when you leave the town, the areas you see and the monsters you encounter will always be the same. But in my game it stays interesting. You never know which monsters come next and you get to experience new places all the time, which keeps the world feeling fresh. I think when playing open world games there comes a time where you explored most of the relevant parts and you only leave the town to visit a few specific spots that are relevant to your current questing or crafting needs. This makes the world feel like a source of materials rather than an exciting place to explore. Yes, it also makes it more tedious to not know exactly where to find an item, but you would likely know that, for example, mushrooms can be found somewhere in the islands area, so you just venture out and will eventually find them. But while doing that, you also explore some places you have not seen before. Also, one important detail to mention here is that all levels are still completely multiplayer. So when someone else is struggling to defeat some monsters in level 5, you can either help them and maybe make a new friend, or watch their health slowly go down every time the monster takes another swing and contemplate what is wrong with you. Anyway, when it comes to the details of the random generation, I actually don't want to fully randomize everything, but rather build a level from a set of pre-designed maps and then fill them with a random cast of monsters. So one day you fight a monster in level 1. It's relatively easy, but the next day you meet the same monster again, but this time in a higher level. There you have to fight the level up version, the big daddy version of that monster, based on the same mechanics but a lot harder.
Run! It's Godzilla!
Another cool thing I can do is to give each level a checkpoint at the end of it. There you can decide to either go back to the town to secure the items and experience you have found so far during the area run, or continue venturing further into the next more dangerous level. But be careful, if you die you will lose all items and experience that have not been secured before. This adds an exciting level of pushing your luck every time you decide to venture further. And remember, you have to cross all previous levels to get to the higher levels again, so eventually you have to dare it. But with every time you make it out alive, you will get stronger and surely you will be able to face the higher level challenges. This is a light version of a permadeath mechanic seen in roguelike games. And this is not even everything I decided to add to my game. There's one more big feature I want to talk about.
Another one.
Previously when you leveled up you got to pick a skill from a skill tree. But now you pick a skill out of 3 randomly selected skills to unlock. So every time you level up, you don't know what skills you can choose from. So you need to think about which skills you have unlocked earlier and which of the 3 skills fit your playstyle best and works in symbiosis with your other unlocked skills. There is, for example, a skill that has a chance to stun a monster when you attack. By itself already quite useful because monsters can't move or attack when they are stunned. But combine that with the skill Exploit Weakness that can only be activated when your target suffers from a negative status effect like a stun. Then you can use it and do a massive amount of damage and increase the damage the monster is taking for some time. And this system will make it so that everyone playing the game will have different skills available to them, so everyone is a bit different, with different strengths and different weaknesses. And playing together becomes even more important to balance out the weaknesses and maybe the skills of other players have a symbiosis with yours. Once I've implemented the class system, the skills you will pick from will have a selection of class-specific and general skills that anyone could unlock. So these were all the big changes I wanted to share with you, but there are still a couple of smaller changes I made since the last update, starting with new music. Then I also added a custom mouse cursor and the ability to receive items as quest rewards. You can also activate the special effect for some items now. For example, mushrooms can be eaten to regenerate some health. Just drag them into the hotbar and activate when you need to supper or are low on health. And monsters can now be aggressive, so they attack you on sight. Also, players starting the game will watch a show on a special island where they learn the basics of the game before going to the town, which is the central hub of the game. And this was it for the update. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments how you like the big changes and additions I made to the game. Thanks a lot for watching to the end of the video. Please subscribe and see you in the next video. Bye!